If you guys watched my Battle Box video, Mission 78, last week, you're going to know that I had this breakfast meal inside there, and I told you I was going to try it out, and today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to try out this Readywise Early Dawn Breakfast Skillet. Alright folks, welcome back. So I want to try this because I've tried so many of these different breakfast skillets in the past, and I want to see if this is any good or not. I've never tried a Readywise, one of these like eat-in pouch meals, so I wanted to see if I like it any better. The price on this is a little bit higher, okay? It is $9.38. That's kind of high. However, there are 2.5 servings in here, and we're going to see exactly how much is in each serving, because what I'm going to do with it is we're going to boil the water in this little Stanley kit that I showed you a while back, and it's got 2 cups. So we're going to see how much that fills up these little green cups. And these are bigger than the previous Stanley kit that you're thinking of. These are the bigger bowls, sort of. So we're going to try that out. And for our stove today, for those of you interested, I'll move this out of the way. We're going to be using an older stove. This is from, I believe this is from India, the Pravat here, or Pravat, whatever, however you say it. This little copper stove here. I wanted to give this little thing a workout. I haven't used it in a while, so we're going to try it out. And we're going to have some fun with it. So I'm going to set everything up. We're going to boil 2 cups of water. And I'll give you a look at the instructions here, because that's all it is. You're just going to tear this open, add 2 cups of boiling water, stir and let stand for 15 to 12 minutes. That's pretty good. You have a best by date here of 3/29/2035. That's a nice long best by date. The sodium on this isn't horrible, but it's not great. The total sodium is 1,400 for the whole package, 560 for a serving. Not horrible, but the rest of the nutritional information isn't really that bad. Not much saturated fat, no trans fat. You got fiber, you got a little tiny bit of sugar in there. Really not horrible. It's a little healthier than the Mountain House ones that are very high in everything. But if you're on a sodium-restricted diet, that's something to think about. Maybe you want to opt for something like freeze-dried wholesalers or Thrive that have absolutely nothing in them but the ingredient, and you can make your own stuff. So, let us set all this hodgepodge gear up here and try it out. Alright, so I want to show you how to do the stove really quick, because I know I'm going to get a billion questions on it. Where you can get one, I have no idea. I got like the last one off Amazon, and I did a review on it. The first thing you're going to do with this, you're not going to pump anything. You're going to seal everything up back here, here, and here. And you're going to put some alcohol in here, or what I'm using today, denatured alcohol, and light it. You want to prime it really quick. There we go. So that's lit. It's going to prime it. It's going to heat up that burner. And then once you feel that's nice and hot, then you can start pumping. And you will get a nice steady flame. It's kind of similar to the Surveyor 123 as far as the flame and the sound. But it's a nice steady flame, works very, very well. You can see it's already starting to catch there. And it will flare up, so be careful. And really, I'm in here in a safe environment and have, fire extinguishers nearby. But do be careful when you're doing this because it can flare up pretty high. That's about 6-7 inches off the top. I can already hear it starting to gasify in there. Not gasify, but create gas instead of liquid. So we're going to pump this up, and we're going to get it going. I'll bring you back when it's running. We'll try out our 2 cups of water and see how far we get with this and see how it works. All right, I have my top light off so you can kind of hear it and see the flame. Got a nice blue flame there in about 1.5 minutes. This is kind of controlled, this stove, by pumping. So pretty much, the higher the flame you want, the more you're going to have to pump it. When you want to take the flame down some, if you want to simmer it, which is really hard to do with a stove like this, you're going to take this key back here where you'll put your fuel in and open it up a little bit, and that will lower the flame. But since we just started out and it's really cold out here, I don't want to mess with it. I'm going to put that top light back on. You got your lid here that you're going to be putting on here, your pot stand. I'm going to make sure I get it right. Well, no. There we go. Okay. So we're all set. You give it a few more pumps, and we're going to put that 2 cups of water on there. So you're getting a little stove education while we test this entree out. I'm going to use this Stanley. This is the larger Stanley Camp 2-person cook pot. It is graduated inside, so that's kind of cool. I will leave a link for the Stanley too if you're interested. These are 25 bucks. They come with 2 bowls, the lid, and 2 little plastic sporks, really thick plastic sporks. We're going to pour some water in there. Alright. There we go. There's 2 cups of water. We're going to see how accurate this is too, because I know sometimes Mountain House overestimates or underestimates on some of the entrees. We're going to see how accurate this one really is. So put that on there, and I will see you when we have boiling water, and we will see how this whole thing works out. Alright, so we've got boiling water. Boiling nice and fast. I'd say about 5 or 6 minutes. Now remember to turn this down. We're going to open that key up and let some of the pressure out. Slowly. Eventually, you'll just turn it all the way off. So I'm going to put this kind of over here, and I'll show you the water here. And there you go. All set and ready. Let me flip this over here. Okay. And now we're going to pour it in here, and we're going to see how we like it, and I'll give you a little more information on the meal itself. Okay. Make sure that you stir these up, by the way. A lot of times people will put these in here and not stir them up, and they'll be all clumps of, hydrated and dehydrated stuff. So make sure that you stir it up. I've got a nice long spoon here. And that seems like a lot of water, I'll be honest with you. They said 2 cups, and that was 2 cups. So we'll see. It seems like it's really soupy. I don't know if it's going to hydrate and thicken up. It might. I suspect it will. But we're going to try that out. I'm going to give it 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to bring you back, and I'm going to show you what it looks like inside there. See, it's kind of soupy and floating around in there. Whoa, that's hot. It's hot on my hand. We're going to seal it up and just let it hydrate. See how well it does. And I'll bring you back once we're all finished with that. Alright, so it's actually been about 15 minutes. I went out and shoveled some of that rock you saw in my previous videos with the tent. Got it flat on the front yard, and we are going to try this out. Now I have opened it up and stirred it a few times, and the wateriness went away. It's starting to get a little thicker over time. If I left it longer, it would get even thicker. But for time constraints on the video, we're just going to dump some out here and try it out and see how we like it. It's much better. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bigger serving spoon, because this is burning the bottom of my hand. And I'll portion it out, and you can see what it looks like. Let me get the video here. You can see what you got in here. That actually looks really good. Let's do a quick taste. And it is good. Now, I will tell you something. If you're used to these from Mountain House, okay, or from other vendors, there's not a ton of salt and spice in them. They're high in sodium, don't get me wrong, but they don't taste like somebody just took a salt shaker and dumped it in there. So you may want to season the taste later after you cook it. Personally, I think they're fine. There's enough sodium in there. Maybe you want to add some pepper or something else. They're a little bit more bland than the Mountain House. So let me get a scoop and scoop this out and put it in here, and we'll show you what 2 portions looks like, minus my 1 bite there. Alright, we're back. I ladled it out evenly. I would say that's probably enough for breakfast. That would fill me up right there. So you got 2 cups of that. So while you think, yeah, the price is $9.38, but you're getting 2 breakfasts out of it, and it's really tasty, I gotta say. It's very good without being overpowering. I find some of the freeze-dried entrees that are sold for camp meals to be a little bit on the overly spiced side. This is kind of just, plain yet tasty. It's got natural flavors in it. It doesn't taste like a ton of salt. Again, if you eat both of these, if you're really hungry, that's 1,400 milligrams of salt. 1,410. But all in all, I'm really not complaining about it too much. It's not bad. Now, calories-wise, 1 serving is 190. The whole container is 470. So you got a good little breakfast meal to get you going there. Again, if you're not a big breakfast eater and you just want something quick on the go, pretty darn good. If you want a huge breakfast, yeah, you could eat both of them. That would just get a little more expensive for you. Now, these do have 21 grams of protein per pouch. Like I said, 2.5 servings. You can just eat it in the pouch. It's got that thick kind of, mylar and metal, so you can eat it in there. They're perfect for backpacking, hiking. They're also perfect for emergency meals, say in your vehicle. I'm slowly, like I did when I unpacked the back of my car and realized I still had MREs in there, I'm slowly transitioning over to all freeze-dried food for the vehicle because it stores very well. I've stored these for 5-6 years, not this particular brand, but Mountain House ones for 5 or 6 years in the vehicle and never had an issue with it. I've heated it up, to rotate them when I eat them, and they still taste just as good as new. So I've never had an issue with heat on these. They are really, really lightweight and packable. The whole thing is, 3.4 ounces, 3.74 ounces. So super lightweight. definitely a good idea for a short-term emergency or bug-out bag. One of the things I've done is, once I had all my regular preps in place, all my food, my water, everything, my defense and everything, what I did was I built I think it's a 15-gallon blue drum, with the twist-off lid, and I just started buying these. Not these, the Mountain House ones, and any other ones I could find locally. And I threw them in there. And now I have this whole 15-gallon tub full of them, so if there was a really dire emergency and I had to grab that and run, I know I got food. And I also have a 6-pack of water in there, nowhere near enough water, but it'll get me started. So I have a pretty decent thing. It's not super heavy. Got a 6-pack of the water in there with the small little lid, little container waters, and that would get me going. And I also have my bug-out tubs, my bug-out 5-gallon buckets as well. And I also have a very long-term kit that I would take in Rubbermaid tubs. So for bugging out, not bad. For in your vehicle, for emergencies, where I live, we have to go over this big hill to get into Vegas. That hill gets snowed out. People get stuck up there. They shut the road down while people are up there. This is a good way to keep yourself fed in an emergency. So I'm going to have me some breakfast. I will leave a link down below where you can pick these up. You can pick them up on Amazon or on the BattleBox website. I will also leave a link to this little Stanley 2-person cook set if you're interested in picking it up. They're 25 bucks. They're basically the larger version of the the single cook set with the 2 green cups. These have green bowls. So I will leave you a link for that. Check out all our links down below. We have our Amazon affiliate store, our freeze-dried wholesaler store. Okay, it's December. If you want to give a gift of somebody a preparedness to someone who isn't prepared, now is the time to go and use my link and save 15% and pick them up a couple bags of food. Say, hey, you know what? Put this away for emergencies. All you got to do is add water. The food is awesome. It's a whole better deal using my code. You save some money. And it's really clean, good food. We have our My Patriot Supply link down below there as well. That's preparewithiridium.com. Preparewithiridium.com. We have our merch store. Don't forget to check that out too if you're interested in supporting the channel and picking up some sweatshirts, coffee mugs, t-shirts. We got it all down there. And our Thrive Life link as well. I thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.